In Zamboro village, they say a man's shadow is his silent twin. It follows him from birth to death. But no one ever imagined a day would come when Ted would stand in the sun. And nothing would stand with him. Ted had once been the pride of Zamboro. But now his farm looked like a graveyard. The earth was cracked. The maize leaves were brown and lifeless. The wind carried dust instead of hope. For 3 seasons, the rain had refused to fall. Inside his hut, his wife would cough endlessly. Each cough reminded him he was failing. That evening, as the sun lowered into a deep red glow, Ted stood alone in his field. "Why me?" he whispered to the empty sky. The village drums in the distance slowly faded. Then something strange happened. The wind stopped. Completely. No birds. No insects. No sound. Only the red sun, watching. Ted looked down. His shadow stretched long across the cracked soil. But he wasn't moving. And yet, the shadow shifted. Just slightly. He stepped to the left. The shadow delayed, then followed. His chest tightened. "That is not possible," he muttered. Then he heard a voice behind him. "You are tired of suffering." Ted turned sharply. A tall man stood a few steps away. He had not heard him approach. The stranger wore dark cloth that seemed to swallow the light. His face was calm. Too calm. And beneath his feet, there was no shadow. "Who are you?" Ted asked. "A helper," the stranger replied softly. Ted laughed bitterly. "Can you bring rain?" Thunder roared across the sky. Dark clouds began gathering above Ted's farm, but nowhere else. The stranger smiled faintly. "I can give you wealth. Crops. Respect in this village." Ted's heart began to race. "What do you want?" he asked carefully. The stranger pointed to the ground. "Your shadow." Ted blinked. "That is foolishness." "Is it?" the stranger said. "Your shadow sees what you do. It knows your secrets. It guards you from what walks in darkness." Lightning flashed. Inside the hut, his wife coughed again, weak, fragile. Desperation swallowed logic. "If you can save my land," Ted said, "take it." The stranger's eyes darkened. "Once I take it, it will never truly belong to you again." Ted hesitated. The clouds thickened. "Take it." The stranger stepped forward. He placed his foot gently over Ted's shadow. At that instant, Ted felt a sharp pain in his chest. Not physical. Something deeper. The ground beneath his shadow darkened like spilled ink. Slowly, the shadow peeled away from the earth. It twisted upward like smoke. Ted tried to scream but no sound came. The shadow stretched, trembled, then slipped into the stranger's hand. For a second, Ted saw it clearly. It looked like him. But its eyes were open. The stranger closed his fist. Thunder exploded. And he vanished. Rain poured down violently. Ted collapsed in the mud, shaking. When he looked down, there was nothing beside him. No dark outline. No companion. Just empty ground. By morning, Ted's farm was green. Only his farm. The rest of Zamboro remained dry. Villagers gathered in shock. "How is this possible?" they whispered. Within days, traders arrived. Money flowed. Respect returned. Ted became the richest farmer in the village. But everywhere he walked, people stared. At sunset, when every man cast a long shadow, Ted stood alone. An elder stepped back slowly. "A man without a shadow," the old man murmured, "is not fully a man." That night, Ted lay in bed, unable to sleep. The moonlight entered through the cracks of his hut. Then he heard it. Soft footsteps outside. Dragging. Slow. They circled his hut once, twice, then stopped at his door. Tate's throat went dry. "Who is there?" he whispered. Silence. Then a voice answered. His voice. "Open the door." Moonlight shifted under the wooden door. And slowly, a dark shape began to stretch inward, crawling across the floor. "Coming home,"